Hello and welcome. This is Japan, and I have a interesting tier list here. I've been thinking about this one for a while now. I like at least doing it. I kind of haven't put too much into it after that because I feel like it's very divisive. With like people are always gonna have different opinions on this stuff. So we're gonna do the best way we can, and we're gonna pick what we believe each killer's music choice. Like, what do they like to listen to if they only could pick one? Some of it I feel like is pretty easy. Some of it's gonna be there might be multiple answers, so I'll try to cover that. And then other times it's just gonna be kind of a shot in the dark because so many people come back from like a long time ago. So I feel like some of it is just like, you know, what are we gonna do with that information because it's just so old. So yeah, we're gonna jump into it and we're just gonna kind of throw it out there because I feel like some of these are just gonna be blind guesses. So yeah, let's see the categories real fast. We got rock, metal, country, classic, rap, jazz, pop, and K-pop. Now there's a million other genres out there, but I figured this is kind of covering some of the basics, and maybe if we think of something else while we're deciding, we could put it in other areas. I mean, there's like alternative and stuff like that, which I think will just kind of fall under rock. Like there's a lot, so instead of having like 500 categories, we're gonna try to do it under these ones and hopefully get as close as possible. So right off the bat, honestly, it's kind of a difficult one in the singularity because like it's like I'd almost think like should I even add the category like new age like sin what is it, synthetic synwave. Actually I'll put it as I need to add a new one. I gotta do it the proper way. I feel like synwave, all of that, lo-fi, all of that is where we're gonna put it here. So we're gonna put lo-fi down here, and yeah, that's where I feel like it'd be. I feel like it's like that where there's no talking and there's like ambient sounds and stuff like that. I think that's what he would listen to. So I'm gonna go as a blanketed lo-fi thing. Next up, we have Alien. I feel like Alien honestly is like heavy metal. That's just kind of like a gut feeling, even though there's really nothing. And maybe it's kind of like the Alien movies kind of have that grungy metal feel to them, even though I don't think they really ever had metal music in it. It wasn't really popular back then to probably do that. But that's the kind of vibe I get. This one's just completely vibe and nothing else. So we're gonna do that. Next we have Demogorgon. Demogorgon's interesting too because like I don't think he even has ears. I think most like stuff like that is like all brain stuff. Like it's kind of like felt through your brain. I feel like classical would be the Demogorgon. I could also see like heavy metal being close to it if you kind of go like Stranger Things in general. But I think that's kind of how I do it. Next up, we have Chucky. Now, Chucky's an interesting one because I feel like Chucky's pretty cultured and like that he probably has experienced plenty of music over his life and his doll life. If I had to have him put him in one area though, that's kind of a difficult thing. I mean, I think like what they confirmed that he listens to rap, right? With like him trying to go after didn't he try to go after Redman and try to get his body in one of the Chucky movies? I feel like rap could be kind of where I want to put him. Um, Rock also seems like something maybe. I'm gonna put him in rap. I think that seems fitting. That might be a little off on that one. Then we got the next up is the Houndmaster, brand new. Honestly, I actually like. I know she's like a pirate. I'm pretty sure is what her backstory is. I want to say like almost like a classical music might be. I could kind of see like jazz. She kind of gives me like a New Orleans vibe, like almost like I'm trying to think of like the best way of like I forget what they had. They had like those. They weren't necessarily pirates, but they were like sailors down there in the like going between like New Orleans and the Caribbean and stuff. It was way back in the day. I don't know. That's kind of the vibe I get, and I kind of get like a jazzy feel. I don't know. That one I don't really like necessarily, but I think that's probably the best fitting thing because I don't really know much about the Houndmaster because she's brand new. So I think that's what I've been told is that she's a pirate. I'm gonna be honest. I haven't looked into her lore too much. Now we got Wesker. Wesker like definitely lives to like heavy like synthwave stuff, like but like the like rave type music. So I guess we're gonna put that in the lo-fi section. Like I feel like that's all it is. I could also see like a heavy metal thing, but like he feels like he's very intense of whatever he listens to. Classical could also fit in there, but like I feel like that's too like safe to put him in the classical thing. So I'm gonna put him in that like heavy like rave type music, like heavy beats and stuff, because like he's just a very intense guy. Next up, we have the artist. I feel like she would kind of maybe like listen to maybe like a softer music. I'm gonna go with like rock, but like soft rock. I think that that's a pretty safe bet. Blight. Blight feels because he was like a scientist, right, and did this stuff to himself. So I think classical could work. I think classical works. Next up, we got Bubba. I mean, Bubba's a full on country bumpkin, so country for sure. Same thing with the clown. I mean, it's even like he's listening to Kate play the music, like the guitar and stuff. I think in the cinematic. So I feel like that's kind of the. I mean, he tries to stab her, so maybe he doesn't like country, but I feel like those are two kind of safe bets. I feel like that, and I feel like we go 3 for 3 with the Country Boys right here. That's their new like group that they're gonna be called the Country Boys. Next up, the Doctor. Honestly, I could probably put him in there. Definitely think classical is also really high into it. Um, because he feels like he'd be the type of person that like in the hospital he'd work and they have the music playing in there, he would have that like on his like if I don't know exactly what time frame where he exists, but like he if he had like some type of like CD player or MP3 player, it would have like just basic elevator music. So I guess classical would be closest. Dredge. Dredge is an interesting one because like I feel like he's just kind of metal like in general, like to like the saying of like, oh, that's metal. So I feel like that's maybe what he would listen to. Yeah, he probably is kind of fluent and likes anything. Pyramid Head, I feel like is another like I don't know. I'm honestly really kind of torn on Pyramid Head. I kind of want to put him in like the same area of like the intensity of like intense lo-fi type stuff. I think that'd be valid enough. Um, Ghostface is going to be a hard one to pick because I feel like if you go with the Ghostface that like a lot of people are like, yeah, like that's the Ghostface I like and stuff. I feel like like the one that like everybody thinks he's like the charming, like people that they're in love with, like the people that just like love Ghostface as like not being a murderer, but just like the aesthetic and stuff. I feel like that's kind of poppy. Like it would fit very good in the pop, but I don't feel like in general Ghostface would. It'd be like a grunge type thing. So I'm gonna go with rock. I think that's closest. I don't know. I don't like that one as much, so I could probably easily be convinced on that one in the comments. Um, Hag, I'm gonna Shot in the Dark. I feel like it's kind of country. She's kind of on the older side, so I feel like that's kind of there. Um, Hillbilly, I also feel like it's country. That one is not a Shot in the Dark. So Huntress, I feel like she just would like listen to kind of classical music. I don't really see her listening to anything too crazy. It's like one of those weird things because like there's two ways of thinking about it when I think of the genres I'm trying to put these characters in. There's the whole like what type did they listen to in their time frame or what would they do like if they had like an MP3 player and had unlimited access to music? Like I feel like some of it would change. Like I could see like Huntress getting into like rock or heavy metal, but like she's had no access to it probably growing up, so classical music probably was the only thing. Legion, I think is like definitely like rock or heavy metal, but I think heavy metal. I think their aesthetic and everything kind of fits that. Um, I don't know why, but for Nemesis, I just really want to put K-pop. I don't know if that's just something inside my brain. I'm trying to think of what else it would be. Um, Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, that is kind of a hard one. I'm gonna put Nemesis in K-pop. There's something in my gut that says that's what he would listen to. He would be like a Blackpink girly. I think that's fine. Which I am also. Does that mean I like Nemesis? Oh my god. I'm having a realization. Let me just go through this. Um, Why did the first one I think of Freddie just think of children's music? Jesus Christ. Um, Freddie. Freddie does seem like he'd be into rap. I don't know. I just there's something about it. Nurse seems like classical. I don't know. That one's a little harder. Oni is pretty intense. He feels like he'd be a lo-fi guy though. Like he would need something to calm him down. He would like have like very chill lo-fi to do it. Um, Amanda the pig. I feel like is good like for rock or metal. I feel like it's kind of like one of the hinge in between it, but I'll put rock for now. Um, Absolutely, Pinhead would be like into some heavy ass club music, so we'll put that down in the lo-fi section. Plague, I feel like also would kind of be classic music. She's another one that's hard because it's like I don't even know like if her society had much music or I don't know even outside what she would be listening to. Um, Sadako, I feel like is oop, I just pulled it aside would be a pop person. I don't really know exactly what year she was, but I think like she's like a '90s kid. So like I don't know. Pop music's pretty popular there. Mikey's another one that's weird because like I feel like a Mikey from the movies would be like something completely different than Mikey from the memes and from like the Dead by Daylight community. Um, he's kind of a silent type, so I'm gonna put maybe towards the lo-fi side. I don't like that one, but I really don't know with Mikey because it's like he's he's just like I don't think he would listen to music. I honestly think that'd be his own category. Just he doesn't listen to music. Um, the spirit. I mean, she was like a teenager when everything happened, so I feel like pop is kind of a pretty safe bet. And then I know she's like older or like maybe like a lot of the stuff happened when she was a teenager, and then she was like just past being like into her adult when everything happened. I don't know. It's always like a weird one. I never know exactly the spirit's age or what stuff has happened. Medieval for the night. So I guess the closest would be classical. I don't know. Skull Merchant is like heavy, heavy bass rave music. That one's pretty easy. It's kind of very similar to her chase music. Trapper, another country boy. Um, this is kind of like he makes K-pop music for the Trickster. I feel like he would listen to it too, even if it's just like a competition type thing. That one's just kind of one of those like it's hard to like not put him in there at least, but I guess this would also be interesting to make this tier list again and see what kind of music would they make. The Twins kind of feels like a country vibe. Um, Good old Bing Bong. I feel like Bing Bong's kind of classical music. That's fine. And then you got the Unknown, which I just feel like is like heavy metal. I don't know. The Unknown is a little weird because he's an entity, like creature type thing, taking over like a human shape. So I don't think there's really any music in particular that he absolutely wants. But yeah, this is my list. You'll have to tell me what you guys think. There's a few in there that I definitely feel like could have been changed, and then I want to see what you guys think in the comments because I'm kind of interested to see what everybody's thinking. But until next time, it's been Japan. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we've been having daily videos. And if you like other Dead by Daylight tier lists, I got a whole thing in here, so you can yell at me in the comments like everybody else does. Bye bye, guys.